SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Did you know Toyota of Brookhaven has sold more new vehicles the last 2 years than any other dealership in Southwest Mississippi? Come see why. Exit 40 Brookhaven or online at ToyotaBrookhaven.com. Great service, great savings. At Toyota of Brookhaven, we deliver.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Steve Azar, always grateful for you tuning in, and my team at SuperTalk Mississippi into my 8th year. Have mercy. Reminding you that I have some pals over there in Macon, Mississippi, producing the catfish, homegrown and produced right here on Mississippi's hallowed ground. Go to superiorcatfish.com. And of course, so many rock star things to do no matter what that Workday commercial says. We are the rock stars. We're the birthplace of it all. Go to visitmississippi.org to find out a whole lot more. All right. You know, there is the ever-growing, beautiful Christmas on Deer Creek in Leland, Mississippi. That festival organized by our friend Sherry Smythe has been on a couple times celebrating that, heading into it. I think it's 6th year next year, and it has been amazing. Small town like Leland, drawn upon its sense of place in Mississippi history, also the home of Jim Henson and the Muppets, and thus you have success when you have somebody like Sherry and today's guest. So there's Christmas on Deer Creek in December there, and now annually it's the second annual Wildlife Heritage Festival, which takes place May 2nd, May 3rd, this weekend, tomorrow, and the next day. I've got the man on the horn that's running that show down there in Leland, Mississippi. So make your plans to spend your time in the Delta and stay a while. Today's guest, a native of Leland and a graduate of Leland High School. He's the owner and president of Boone Funeral Home with locations in Leland, Greenville, and Indianola. Licensed funeral service provider and licensed life, health, and accident insurance agent as well. In 84, he became a licensed, I got to make sure I get this word right, eye enucleator. Is that possible? I keep wanting to say inoculator. I'm going to find out. For the Mississippi Lions Eye Bank, he's a member of the Leland, Greenville, and Indianola Chambers of Commerce, a member and former district governor of Mississippi Funeral Directors Association, and a member of the National Funeral Directors Association. He served on the board of directors of Allied Funeral Associates Insurance Company based in Tupelo since 2000. Look, he's been president and on more boards than we can talk about in a Mississippi Minute. Bottom line is he's a giver. He believes in community, and he puts his, what do you call it, money where his mouth is, actually his time where his mouth is. This man is always one you can count on when you're putting on a festival to celebrate who we are as Mississippians. So let's get to it right now. My pal, the organizer, head of all things Wildlife Heritage Festival, like I said, tomorrow and the next day, May 2nd, May 3rd, with my pal, Mark King. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Steve.
How are we doing in there?
We're doing great. Glad to be here.
Well, I appreciate you as always. So let me do a little backstory. First time you and I really became friends was back in the mighty Mississippi days, and there you were, doing the hard parts of our festival, dealing with all the vehicles, dealing with all the geographical things that go on in a festival. And I said, my gosh, if we don't have a guy like Mark organizing us when it's game day, man, we would be a mess. I also learned so much about your character, and of course your wife Cindy always helping on keeping the money side straight. So between the two of you, we were all working. I felt like at some point in the middle of both of you. As I've gotten to know you and I've seen why you care so much about where you live, your community, first of all, where do you find the time and why do you give a dang?
Well, you just have to make the time for things that you care about. So this is promoting our area and promoting Leland. It's something I care about, and keeping our community safe and keeping our community growing and keeping visitors that want to come here. So that's anything you want to do, you can always find the time if that's something you're passionate about. So,
do you feel like there's been sort of a challenge? And what do you feel like those challenges are when you're talking about small town Mississippi, even though our history, especially Leland with Jim Henson and the Muppets, I mean, it's global. Probably one of the biggest things that's ever happened in Mississippi. You got Elvis, you got B.B. King, you got the Muppets, and you got Morgan Freeman. I mean, we've got some Muddy Waters. Name it, we got it. But have there been challenges as far as you see, or you have blinders on when you go in this thing and just believe?
Well, I mean, one of the biggest challenges is everybody. So everybody wants the best spot. They want the best parking spot. They want the best spot to put their trailer. They want the best spot to put their tent. So you got to make sure that you let everybody know that this is the best spot. No matter where you put them, it's always the best spot. So that's one of the challenges. And small town is just trying to such a small area and trying to keep traffic flowing and keep blocking streets off and keeping everybody safe, and has been great. So
yeah, you were doing festivals and stuff before I moved back to town.
Well, I've been helping with Christmas on the Creek I've been driving Santa Claus down the creek since about 1985.
Oh wow!
So that started back in 1940. Let's see, 1958, I think was the first year. So, grew up watching Santa Claus come down the creek, and then have been part of the Lions Club and doing that. I've been personally doing it since about 1985. So,
wow. I thought you were about to say Christmas on Deer Creek. I said, it's only 5 years old. What are you talking about? And then of course, you crossed into the 80s, which was our time. All right. So 80s had some pretty good music. 60s and 70s a little better, but that's okay. All right. Let's talk about why the Wildlife Festival. We have a wildlife museum there now, right?
That's correct.
So where did all this epiphany come from? And let's talk about why the wildlife. I know we have a lot of wild folks in Mississippi down in the Delta, but why wildlife?
That's right. So Leland was having several small festivals. We had the Frog Fest that was bringing 400 or 500 people to town, and then we had the Crawfish Festival, which was bringing 800 or 900 people to town, and then of course your Mockingbird series was successful, but you're talking 1,000, 1,500 people maybe, and then
max, right?
And so we're spending a lot of time and effort on getting the smaller festivals together. So I think Rob Baker might have mentioned it first that let's do a wildlife festival and let's put all of these other smaller ones in there together. The Wildlife Museum has been a great hit for Leland. There's people visiting there every day. So it's drawing a lot of people to town. So that's what we decided to do. And everybody, farmers, agricultural community, everybody likes hunting. Everybody likes the outdoors. So the Wildlife Festival just seemed to kind of fit. And man, last year we had, I was probably 6,000 or 7,000 people here last year for that festival. So
pretty good start, isn't it? That's crazy.
Yeah, great. So
how many people does Leland have in the citizens as far as in the lines? You're drawing the lines.
3,500.
City limits 3,500.
Right. So we've doubled the population
You doubled the population, and in Christmas on Deer Creek.
We probably had 9 or 10,000 people at Christmas on the Creek.
I love that. I just think that's so funny. But it's a tribute and a true tribute to Mississippi and some of our greatest resources to wildlife, the arts. And and that creek that you guys have had since I used to go down on that creek at Christmas as well, just surrounded by beautiful houses and it's just amazing that this thing has gone on this long, but the tradition of folks like you that give a dang, and it brings a vast economic impact when you celebrate these things that are real to your communities. So, there's no doubt there. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts if we can. Let's talk. So Friday night we have our pal Ava Fertizzi, at 5 to 6. That's May 2nd. Dwayne Dupsy and the Zydeco Hellraisers, awesome, from New Orleans, from 6:15 to 7:30, and then our pal Zach Day, who's so wonderful. I mean, the first time I came to town and got to sit with Zach in my studio, I was like, well, there's nobody like him, nobody on planet Earth, and he's really making his way, and he's one of those journeymen who's making one fan at a time, and he'll be going on from 7:45 to 9, and then Saturday we get up. Now I'm going to talk about the music, and then you're going to fill in all the gaps with all this other stuff that's going on. Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock to 3, Howl and the Big Bad Wolves, my friend Cindy Fowler from Vicksburg and her band. 3:45 to 6:20, we have a Mockingbird songwriter series, and I've got Matt Warren, Dave Pahanish, and Philip Lamons. They got more hits than we need to talk about coming in from Music City. Then the Cracker Jacks, the party band of the South, our friend Charlie and the team, are on 7 to 8:30. So that's your lineup, and it's going to be a lot going on. Now, let's talk about, let's take a quick break, and I want you to talk about all the other things when it comes to the wildlife portion and why it's that and what else is going on. Let's take a quick break. I've got Mark King, my dear pal, on the horn. May 2nd, May 3rd is the Wildlife Heritage Festival, which is the Crawfish Festival, which is my Mockingbird series, which is the Frog Fest, all under one umbrella, one city, one roof in Leland, Mississippi, May 2nd, May 3rd. Superior Catfish, I'm talking about, that's where I like to get my catfish out of those ponds in Macon, Mississippi. There's catfish, there's Superior Catfish. Head on over to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. They're shining right now because they know we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing to draw folks to our Mississippi, plan a road trip to Leland, Mississippi this weekend.
Patriotism.
Rolling into a Mississippi Minute, my dear pal Mark King. He is a special guy, him and his wife Cindy. I'm a fan of one of their children, Miller. Shout out to him, one of the hardest working guys I ever met in my life, and big part of our mighty Mississippi back in the day. We're talking about the Wildlife Heritage Festival, which is going to be tomorrow and Saturday, May 2nd, May 3rd. And before we get to that, I want to thank my pals over there at Superior Catfish. There's catfish, there's Superior Catfish. Every time the math adds up, go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. We are the birthplace of America's music, and a lot of great music came from Leland, Mississippi. I can tell you that, which shaped the world. And we're celebrating there with the Wildlife Heritage Festival this weekend with Mark. Mark, all right, all these music and stuff's going on the stage, but what's happening in between?
So, we'll have a lot of fun activities on Friday evening for the kids. We have a lot of the blow-up bouncy houses coming into town. We got the bull riding that's going to be here. We got the bungee cord trampoline course that's going to be up. So a lot of activities for the kids. Trying to keep this festival as kid-friendly and family-friendly as we can because we wanted to make it enjoyable for the whole family. So, and then, of course, the music that'll be played Friday night. Saturday, we have the Lily Pad brunch. We have a seating at 9 o'clock and another seating at 10:30.
All right, explain that.
All right, so that'll be for a brunch time for the kids. That's our Frog Fest. That's normally what we do for Frog Fest, and so the kids will go in. There'll be characters there. You can go on the Leland Chamber of Commerce website or Facebook page and get all the information you need to about these different events. And you can sign up for the Lily Pad brunch for the kids. Similar to what we did, we do the same type brunch for Christmas on the Creek festival. So, and then at 11 o'clock is going to be one of our most exciting events that we've come up with this year. It's called the Creek Leap. And we have a floating dock that's built out on Deer Creek. And we have dogs that will run and leap off the end of that dock. And we have a contest going. You can see videos of that on our Facebook page. And, we've been having some dogs come try out and practice. So.
Oh, come on. You have dogs trying out. Are you serious?
They are. You think your dog will just jump in the water because it likes water, but when it's 2 feet off it's hard to get them to jump the first time. So
that is crazy. Okay, you gotta dig in a little further here. Obviously, we have friends that have dogs, and they love the water, and you can throw the ball in the water and they will fly to it. But when you're jumping in a creek, it's a little different from a swimming pool. Now, you sound like you're training these dogs for the Olympics. I mean, come on.
We're trying to. We have so the dogs, the dock is built, and it's about 2 feet above the water level. So when they jump, we had dogs jumping close to a little over 15 feet, I think was the furthest jump last night doing some practicing. So,
oh my gosh.
So we're trying to reach the world record. I think the world record is about 27 feet. So
27 foot.
Yes,
are you kidding me? What kind of dog? What kind of breed?
I'm not sure what breed has the world record, but we're mostly, my friends have Labradors or Golden Retrievers, or you can bring any dog you want to if you want to enter him in the contest. So
I had a miniature dachshund and a basset hound. You think that they would make it a foot?
Oh yeah, they'll make a big splash anyway.
My 82-pound basset hound that passed a handful of years ago, Waffles, was like, he was known as Satan in the music industry. They called him the devil dog. I mean, this dog was ornery and mad and upset at all times. And, he would lift his neck up and raise it about, we thought that he had an E.T. neck. If you can imagine E.T., the movie, he would raise it. And if there was butter on the countertop or a pie, he would somehow get it. And we're going, how do you get up there? And then if you tried to get it from him, it was no chance. And heck, anyway, so that dog of ours would only fall in the water. There's no chance it has any leaping ability. I'm trying to imagine what 27 foot, what dog could do the Michael Jordan. I mean, that's insane. How long is the runway? And is there a little springboard? What's going on? So
the dock is 32 feet long. And so.
Okay. They get a good running start.
Gives them a chance to get a good running start, and you can either toss a ball or toss their favorite toy into the creek ahead of them that they want to jump for that. But it was a real exciting time last night watching the dogs kind of warm up, and so. Can
we bet on this? Do we have any action going?
We don't have any bets, but the winner will win a cash prize. So we have there might be some side bets or some.
This is crazy.
But anyway, some
in this derby weekend. Some trash talk. Isn't this derby weekend?
It is. Yes.
We got this. You can raise a lot of extra money if you think about it. Just handling the bets and just taking the juice.
That's right.
I wonder if I can get Pearl River Resort to put it on the sports book there. This is awesome. You know, the 27 foot, I don't believe it unless they had a little bit of a springboard. I'm sitting there trying to go 27 feet. I'm trying to imagine. And what breed of dog? You think that it was a golden?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're kind of this is kind of a takeoff from the dock dogs. I don't know if you've heard about them before.
But still.
We're calling this the Creek Leap, and it's just going to be a fun local activity. But you'll be standing on the Broad Street Bridge, which is been renamed the Rainbow Connection Bridge for Jim Henson. So we're getting in the process of starting to rebuild that bridge in the next year or so. So, but you'll be on that bridge, and you'll have a good side view of the dogs jumping. So. We posted on Facebook some of the jumps last night. Woke up this morning, had 1,000 views. So,
well, yeah, you're about to have 1,001 because I'm leaving you in a little bit. It was going there.
It was a pretty good, pretty exciting to have that many views on that. So
you bring Jim Henson up, and to show you and I both know the impression he and his Muppets have left on the world. Arguably one of the biggest impressions in history because it's so global. No matter where I was around the world, if they would look at me and they go, B.B. King? Yeah. Elvis? Yeah. Jim Henson and the Muppets? Yeah. So you'd get that. And I had Pierre Leroux on once, who was one of the greatest hockey players in history. He came from Quebec. He spoke no English. And I said, when did you learn how to speak English? Because it's still broken, but English. But he said, on Sesame Street. And I went, shut up. And he goes, no, that's how I learned to speak English. It was Sesame Street every day. And I went, Well, it's right down the street here. I'm looking outside my window, same window I was interviewing him from that I'm interviewing you. And I said, about 10 miles down the road, there it is. Anyway, he was like freaking out. He goes, oh my gosh, because he felt like, well, I didn't think the Muppets were from anywhere except out of space, and they're from Leland, Mississippi. I feel like that's one of the things that we got to grab a grip of a little better is letting people know that this is where Jim Henson and the Muppets are from. And I know you guys are doing all you can to celebrate that, especially when Jim left. His kids were probably raised in New York, and the Delta doesn't seem probably like it's home to the generations below. Let's take a quick break. Celebrating everything that is Mississippi when it comes to driving the economy with anything creative and celebrating who you are in your particular spot and sense of place in Mississippi is so important when you do it like Mark is doing and Sherry and like I hope to think that I've been doing since I moved back with a lot of help from our friends like Mark. That I think that you can draw success and draw attention to what's great about our Mississippi. So many things. Also, Superior Catfish. You can have it delivered to your door. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com. Tell them I sent you and visit Mississippi.org, the birthplace of America's music. Celebrating it down there in Leland, Mississippi. I can tell you it's going to be great. May 2nd, May 3rd, this weekend, Wildlife Heritage Festival. Come see us.
There's too much more at the end of the money. At the end of the money. I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
I know this is kind of a bizarre in a Mississippi Minute. I know I'm the most bizarre part of this conversation. I got my dear friend Mark King is my guest today. He is really taking the reigns over the Wildlife Heritage Music Festival. Before I get back into that, Superior Catfish, I'm telling you, it could be on your doorstep tomorrow. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com, wherever you are in this fine land of ours. There's catfish, there's Superior Catfish. Do the math. And visit Mississippi.org. Celebrates anybody trying to make an effort in their community to draw people in for a weekend, for a day, for a week, sometimes forever. You know, the Thompson House, we're in Leland, Mississippi right now. I know that the Christmas on Deer Creek drew in some of the folks there that came and fell in love with Leland and left Missouri, sort of Arkansas, northeast border up there, and moved to the family to Leland and now run the Thompson House. And they've done a spectacular job of that. And they're talking about a second bed and breakfast now. And that just shows you the power of creating this festival. And all of a sudden they fall in love with Leland, right? Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's great. Well, Leland has always been a friendly town. We've always accepted and welcomed visitors into our town from as long as I can remember, and I grew up here. So it's a great place to live, great place to visit, and so we're excited about the festival. And you mentioned something about bringing people into the community. And when we put this festival on in Leland, it impacts Greenville, Indianola, Cleveland, those because, the hotels, Leland has no major hotels here. So people have to have somewhere to stay. So, I hear comments from restaurants and hotel owners and that the festival really helped them. And so, we're bringing people into Leland for the festival, but I think there's an impact throughout the whole Mississippi Delta because of this festival.
Wildlife wise, is there anything going on at the Wildlife Museum where people can just go visit it while they're in there and go take a what do you call the word, a gander, and kind of navigate their way through?
And we'll have some people in the Wildlife Museum. I think Paul Meeks is going to be there, turkey calling and teaching people how to turkey call.
Oh, wow.
Giles, let's see, Bass Pro Shop's going to be there. And they'll have some fishing expeditions inside the museum on how to cast and flip and other. So there'll be other activities going on, inside the museum. But one of the other exciting events that we're going to have and keeping this kid friendly is we're having the Kermit Hop. And this is a bullfrog jumping contest.
See, I'm pulling stuff out of you now. Come on, what is this?
We're going to have or try to have 50 bullfrogs available for someone to purchase a bullfrog. And World Class Paints that's located here in Leland, they are going to paint a bullfrog in the street and a racing track. So the way it'll work is you'll get a bullfrog and you'll put it on the starting spot, and then you have 60 seconds to make your frog jump. You can clap, you can holler, you can tap the ground, and then however far the frog goes in 60 seconds, we'll mark that spot and then measure back to the starting point. Whichever frog jumps the furthest will be the winner of that contest.
Y'all are like running a combine like for the NFL here. This is awesome. So you got dogs flying into the water. Now you got bullfrogs representing Frog Fest and right. Kermit the Frog. Look at Kermit back there. You see him?
I see him.
Look at him.
So also we're asking people that if they want to enter that contest and get a frog, then we're going to ask them to name their frog. So whoever comes up with the best name for their frog will be given a certificate and a winning recognition there.
Oh, come on. This is awesome. Now, see, this sounds much more fun than music, because I do music for a living, and that's boring compared to what you're saying right now. I mean, like, I would rather go watch dogs leap into water and see how far they could go, and also watching frogs jump. That's so funny. Some of the memories of festivals. We've watched pig races, and you see these guys little pigs going around the bend and all that, We've watched, what else have we've seen ducks race. We've seen chickens race, and we were like going, where are we? You're like, what part of the world are we in? And we were in America. And so this reminds me so much of some of those events when we would show up and play these festivals. And, we were the last act of the night, and we were going like, this was like the most fun and bizarre thing we've ever seen. But I would ask why pigs, why chickens, and they would always tie it into, where they were from and why. I mean, so it wasn't just we're just going to do this. There was a purpose behind, where they lived, and once again, their sense of place, and drawing on some story from somewhere back in the day that just stuck in their town, and doing anything they could to celebrate anything as bizarre as that, but fun for people to see. At the same time, create a festival around a lot of these little things. Now, Jim Henderson and the Muppets and Frog Fest should be one of the biggest festivals in the world. But I love the fact how y'all are keeping that dream alive and that festival alive. And also, it sounds like y'all are doing more in Leland to celebrate the Muppets. Has that been a challenge, not having the family in Leland?
It has been, but we've gotten great support from them, and it's just a challenge for that big of a museum in this small of a community. I think that's the biggest challenge. If it was in some big metropolitan city or something, I think it would be a big difference. But being the museum being right there on the banks of the creek where Kermit got his name, I think I know Jim Henson's one of his best childhood friends was Kermit Scott, who grew up here in Leland. So that's how they got. That's how the name came about. So
I didn't know that. See, I didn't.
My information is correct. So that's where Kermit got his name from Jim Henson. So
you've got your messenger as sounding like crickets. Is that part of the Wildlife Festival? We got crickets doing anything?
That's my phone going off. Somebody's calling looking for me. So
you're always busy. People, if I was you, I would hide most of the day. So all right, so this starts May 2nd, May 3rd. It's the second annual, folks out there. Come to Leland, Mississippi, down here in the heart of the Mississippi Delta. Leland and Greenville arguably are the heart of the Mississippi Delta, and it's going to be the Wildlife Heritage Festival. Along with Under the Umbrella, My Mockingbird music series will have a couple hours of great songwriters from Nashville coming in and doing one set. Great music throughout. Obviously, the dogs are going to be exploding into the Deer Creek, and we're going to try to break the world record at 27 feet. I can't wait to check that world record out. I want all you guys to do it as well. I feel like they must have had some sort of rubber springboard for anything to jump 27 feet. But with that said, and then we've got the bullfrog competition. You guys can join. And that sounds like a lot of fun as well. But celebrating the legacy of Jim Henson and his beautiful Muppets and how they influenced the world all the way from Leland, Mississippi. And that's where this festival is taking place tomorrow, May 2nd, May 3rd. Superior Catfish, you know where that is? Just up the road, just around Hell State over there. It is the Catfish. Please check out my pals at superiorcatfish.com. If you're listening in Oregon, I know I've got some listeners over there. I got some listeners in upstate New York. If you guys want your catfish delivered to your door, go to store.superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Has a big old smile on his face because this is what it's all about. I know that we've got a lot of festivals going on, including Double Decker, which I've headlined before in Oxford. And these festivals come about by great people that care about their communities, like Mark King, my guest today. Don't go nowhere. I'm Steve Azar.
We're gonna reach the light, but it's a hard road, baby, that we're moving on down tonight.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Wesley Financial Group is not
SuperTalk Mississippi.
When you've done all you need to do, and you've had more trouble than you can use, and you've painted every road that you can find. When you've seen the sunset coast to coast, and the rise and the fall, and the highs and the lows, and you're at the point where you know you're wasting time. Baby, think about this.
Steve Azar here with Mark King, celebrating the Wildlife Heritage Music Festival. It's going to be tomorrow, May 2nd and May 3rd in Leland, Mississippi, home of Jim Henson and the Muppets. That's Frog Fest. That's Crawfish Fest. My Mockingbird music series, all under the new umbrella of the Wildlife Heritage Festival, which there's a wonderful wildlife museum there. There's a Highway 61 Blues Museum there. And there is the Jim Henson Museum as well in Leland, Mississippi. There's a creek that's just legendary. And they are building festivals around it, from Christmas on Deer Creek and now the Wildlife Heritage Festival. Make your plans. Come visit down here in the Delta. Mark King is my guest today. He's one of those guys that serves on every committee, every board, and it's a zillion of them. You should have seen his bio. If I read it, we'd still be reading it right now, rather than getting into the nuts and bolts of the weekend ahead of us. But he's one of those guys that gives up his time, and it's almost like he's got 28 hours in a day or 36 hours in a day. Somehow he makes it work, even though he's running a very successful funeral home business in 3 cities, and et cetera, et cetera. He's a wonderful dad, wonderful husband, and just a special guy. What else? Anything else that we need to talk about before we send you packing? We've got about 6 minutes, and we got to fill the space. Ha ha. You know.
So yeah, I have something very important.
Oh, come on.
This is really good. So if festivals are on the street, there's not a lot of places to sit. You're walking around, you get tired. So we have the VIP tent that you can purchase a ticket for.
Oh yeah, man.
And this gives you a great, comfortable place to go sit and relax. We have some special food that's going to be catered in by Danny and Sharice Oberly.
Yeah, baby.
Catering our VIP tent this year with food. We have drinks. We have and this is sponsored by the Delta Group, Ayers Delta Implement, and the Delta Group.
Always supporting.
Tent, so
always.
We want to give a shout out to them because we love their support. Mm-hmm. But this gives you a great, cool place in the shade to come sit and relax for a little bit. You'll have a great view of the stage right there for the music time. And so that's a great investment for you to make. $100 a ticket to go get in the VIP tent, but your food and drinks all covered, no charge inside the tent. So
I love it.
It's we need to fill that tent up, and you can buy tickets there the day of. We'll have a chamber tent. You can register online to purchase any of these tickets: the VIP, the Creek Leap, the Kermit Hop. We have T-shirts. We have Mississippi Wildlife Festival T-shirts for sale. Crawfish. We haven't mentioned crawfish.
We haven't.
Also the Crawfish Festival.
That's exactly right.
And so we have, you buy your crawfish platter. Billy Johnson says, make sure you say it's a crawfish platter. That sounds bigger and better. So, also, Steve, I want to mention too that this festival is free. There's no entry fee to get there.
Right.
You walk in from any direction you want to. What we do ask though is if you would bring 2 canned goods and drop them off at the tent there at the chamber tent, to help support the Leland Food Pantry.
I love that. That's really your ticket in if you can do that.
Yeah, if you can do that, you can right there in town. If you want to go by Stop and Shop, you can stop in there and buy you a couple of cans of this right around the corner. So
helping the economy, that's part of this magic.
Yeah,
I love it.
but we're excited about all the vendors that are coming in, the mom and pop retail shops that are coming in.
Love it.
Are excited. We have some great food truck lineups that will be there. So it's going to be a great, fun-filled day. Starts at 9 o'clock Saturday morning, 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. The festival will open, close at 9, and then we'll start back at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning and
all right,
close down at 9 o'clock Saturday night. So.
You and I put together an interview in like 4 minutes. That's pretty good. We got through it.
That's good.
Well, I'm going to let you go do your day job so you can get to these festivals that you keep volunteering your time for. And you're an amazing guy. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you, and Gwen and I appreciate you and Cindy so much.
Let me say real quick too. We have an amazing police department too, and also a volunteer fire department, and they help with the security around. And all of our festivals have been 100% completely safe. We have had no accidents or no incidents that have gone on. So it is a fun, friendly, safe place to come enjoy the outdoors. So.
I'm knocking on wood for us just because you never know. I appreciate you so much. Mark King, my guest today. The Wildlife Heritage Festival incorporates the Crawfish Festival, the Mockingbird Music Series, and the Frog Fest, Jim Henson's all in one festival, Leland, Mississippi, tomorrow, May 2nd, May 3rd, Saturday. Come down to Leland, Mississippi. Superior Catfish is homegrown in Mississippi, and the world knows it. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a song to me. I'm Steve Azar. Mark, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.